Have you ever heard the sound of a meteor crashing into a home? That's insane, right? That hit about the best place it could hit in the entire world. Can you imagine walking out your front door getting clocked with that thing? I'd love to know how fast that was going if anyone has any guesses.
I see you, buddy. It's okay. Wow, you can see the white of his eyes in the corner.
This clip here from Squatch Watchers is brand spanking new. You can hear the guy talking and you can tell he kind of has a relationship with this Bigfoot.
I think I figured the secret out a little bit.
The guy doesn't mention this in his video, but it looks like this Bigfoot might be holding a baby. Can anyone else see that? I really like this footage. The only thing that would really make it better is if when he calls out, the Bigfoot moved. But then again, if they moved every time someone called out, they wouldn't be alive. What did this Ring doorbell just catch? These are some of my favorite because you know that the technology picked up something moving. It's not up for debate. Something was there. It looks like something comes from the house and just dips off to the left. Let's see if we can slow it down. The homeowners mentioned they were alarmed by this, so my first thought of it being a pet spirit visiting, I don't think that's in play here. Creepy for sure, but sinister? You tell me. Warning, I have to rant about this one a little bit, so feel free to skip ahead if you'd like, but I don't know why people do this. The guy zooms in on the dog man, and we see absolutely nothing. At least film a bird or something moving around. I mean, if you zoom in far enough on anything, you can make it whatever you want. Anyway, that's annoying. Moving on, we got other stuff to cover. Now this next clip I want to take a little bit of a dive into, but I 1000% need your help. So here's the backstory. Angie Sedgmer from Ohio is a pretty well-respected Bigfoot researcher. Colleagues say she's meticulous, she's professional, she keeps all types of documentation on all of her Bigfoot encounters. And that's no different for the one that she caught on her property. She's been doing this for over a decade, and while she doesn't share many of her findings, she decided to release this one. Angie employs a similar filming method as did Scott Carpenter, to attach the camera in such a way that it films behind her. On January of 2016, on the snow-covered ground, Angie was walking her property, recording the movement that was going on behind her. When Angie dug through the footage, she found what she says is a Bigfoot running at lightning speed, nearly undetectable by the camera.
Here we start to see it, hanging on. Starting to jump, midair, landing on the tree, its eyes are becoming visible. It gets a little obscured here with some stuff and then it becomes more visible, like now, head's turning and it's gone. This is repeated.
I mean, I have to be honest, outside of the quick flash of brown at the beginning of the video, I don't see anything. Angie posted a follow-up video where she traces the outline of the Bigfoot.
Stills from this footage that I have just shown you. This is as it's starting to jump in the first tree. This is as it's taking off. Mid-jump, also mid-jump, there you can see the four, like the 2 hands and 2 feet, and now it's on the tree, the second tree. And again, this is another set. Starts out on the first tree. This is just as it starts jumping. Mid-jump.
I need to know if everyone else can see this.
Still mid-jump, but it's like you can almost see the whole body. Now that's the 4 digits and possibly the head in the middle. So the 2 hands and 2 feet, head in the middle. This is as it lands on the tree, and you can start to see details of its face again. And this is after it lands on the tree, and you can see the whole body and face. There's 2 eyes, the muzzle, the little arm grasping the tree.
I mean, there are people in the comments who can totally see it. They think this footage is incredible. I mean, she's got one running left, and she's got one running right, jumping up in the tree. Now, one person in the comments did bring up something I found interesting. Maybe this Bigfoot isn't running at excessive speeds, but instead, it's cloaking. And while I still can't really see it, that makes a little more sense to me. I don't know, I need your help. Can anyone else see it? Even with the tracings? This might be the clearest Bigfoot footage I've ever seen. Taken in Ontario by Timber Giant. Check out the zoomed in clip of this guy.
Glasses on. Look at that. Holy. That's what's making the noise. Holy. Oh shit. Oh crap, I lost it. Where'd it go? Holy. I'm pretty sure that was the thing that was making the noise. I'm not seeing it now.
Before I get my hopes up, I always say, could this be fake? And yeah, I guess it could, but look at the hair, look at the coarseness of it, the color.
It's probably like, I don't know, 150 feet away.
And in hopes of eliciting a response, he breaks a stick, which gets the Bigfoot's attention. After the Bigfoot slips away, Timber Giant goes over to where he was sitting.
I don't know what to do now. I should just survey the area and look around, or just what? Now look for some footprints. Look at this though, holy. The stone is even warm. Look, there's where it was smashing things with it. Look at this. The stone's right in the ground. What the fuck? There's a friggin' dog.
Now, if real, this footage is incredible. As I continue to watch this, I realized I've seen this clip before, but it was so zoomed in, it was so blurry, I couldn't see any details. Some people are giving him a hard time on the camera work, but I actually think it's pretty good. I mean, this guy's been looking for Bigfoot for 30 years. Give me some ideas of what it could be if it's not a Bigfoot. Bear? Cinnamon bear? That's all I can really come up with. Talk about a nightmare. We see the glowing eyes of young Mufasa guarding the stairway. Retreat back to our bedroom, but no, there's Sarabi, Queen of Pride Rock. In the same vein, we see a young lion who has stumbled into an apartment in Thailand. At first I thought that was the basement of the apartment and he was just trying to get out the way he came in. Then I realized that that's someone's apartment door. This could have been bad. Can you imagine looking out the peephole, open the door, boom, big lion pushes through. You got your family in there, your kids in there. Heck, knowing my kids, they would have opened the door. Come on in. In Oxfordshire, researchers have uncovered something massive, 200 dinosaur footprints stretching across what might be the UK's largest prehistoric trackway. And these aren't just any footprints. 150-meter trails left by both the plant-eating Cetiosaurus and its fearsome neighbor, the Megalosaurus. But that's not all. This place is a gold mine. Deep in Siberia's Batagaica crater, a massive 260-foot depression, scientists have found an even more incredible discovery. Meet Yana, a baby mammoth who's been frozen in time for over 50,000 years. This isn't just another fossil. We're talking about one of the most perfectly preserved mammoth carcasses ever found. At just over a year old when she died, this 180-kilo juvenile still looks like she could have walked the tundra today. This has scientists excited. As the permafrost melts, what other prehistoric secrets will emerge from the ice?
You can go slow-mo. So weird.
I can definitely see something blurry at the beginning, and then of course the alarming part is the massive shadow that flies over. This clip has gone viral with millions of views of people saying that this is definitely the Mothman. What I love about these homemade videos is that you can really pick up on the emotion of the people filming.
So weird.
This next clip has had an entire neighborhood questioning reality. On February 4th at 7 a.m. in a quiet Staffordshire cul-de-sac, a Ring doorbell captured something that sent chills down the homeowner's spine. As resident Jackie Bott walked past her neighbor's house, something else walked through the frame. A tall woman in what appears to be 1940s attire moves in the opposite direction. Jackie's neighbor, Carrie Ann, who discovered the footage, felt her blood run cold. You see, Jackie swore to her she only passed a man that morning. But watch closely now. You can actually see the gate through the figure's body before she dissolves into thin air. I mean, social media erupted. Quote, at one point you can see right through her. Another pointed out she looks like she dissolves into thin air at the end. The backstory is that this housing complex was built in the 1940s for local miners and their families. The figure's wedged shoes, long coat, and hat matched the era perfectly. Even skeptical Carrie Ann can't explain what her Ring camera caught that morning. So are we looking at a digital glitch here, or is this a glimpse into Staffordshire's past? On February 6th, a Cessna carrying 10 people vanished during what should have been a routine 55-minute flight from Unalakleet to Nome. Last contact was made just 12 miles offshore, then silence. And here's where it gets even more chilling. This is just the latest in a pattern stretching back decades. Between Anchorage and Juneau lies what locals call the Alaskan Triangle. Since the 1970s, over 20,000 people have vanished in this region. Now, most of them aren't on airplanes. However, those figures work out to more than 4 people per week, disappearing without a trace. In 1972, a small plane with 4 passengers disappeared on this same route. Despite extensive searches, they were never found. Sadly, 50 years later, we worry that history seems to be repeating itself. The Nome Volunteer Fire Department has launched ground searches from both Nome and White Mountain, but the region's notorious weather, dense fog, light snow, has severely limited air rescue efforts. The Coast Guard joins the search, but conditions continue to deteriorate. Local authorities have specifically warned against civilian search parties. Too many of these rescue attempts turn into additional missing persons cases. I will say, I hope by a miracle that this plane is found and all of these people are able to return home safely. It's hard to wrap our minds around how all of these cases follow the same pattern. Routine flights, experienced pilots, modern equipment, all vanishing in an area. It's like the usual rules of navigation seem to break down over this triangle. Join me in praying for their safe return. Keep your head on a swivel. That could have ended way differently. I thought this was probably one of the most insane clips I had ever seen, and then I realized that it was being rewound. And yes, I should have noticed that because all of the people in the video were walking backwards, but nevertheless, here we are. Filled with anxiety and what I thought was a ship smashing into this land, but it appears it was just a ship launch. Quite the fight there. Let me show you what caused this kestrel to attack this jackdaw that had entered her home. Hours earlier, the jackdaw flew into the kestrel's home, where 3 eggs lay unattended. Mom was out hunting for food, but before she gets back, the jackdaw was able to kill one of the eggs. Now, when Mom returns home, she sees the aftermath. She can tell someone's been there, and she sees the egg is broken. Well, she immediately went into revenge mode. She flew the nest and waited in a nearby tree until the jackdaw came back and tried for round 2. The jackdaw enters the tree, but Mama comes right behind him. Just an incredible tale of revenge in the wild.
End of the road, turn right.
They got Bigfoot down here in Georgia. Guy dragging him with that helicopter. Wonder where they're taking him.
So I've seen this clip a few times, but the best explanation I've found came from the paranormal chick on TikTok. So check her out. So the following video, captured by a man named Edward from Georgia on October 5th of this year, has raised some serious questions. And you'll have to decide for yourself if it's further proof of Bigfoot's existence. Now, this guy Edward, he typically shares content about fishing and hunting. Nothing else, no paranormal stuff, no cryptid stuff. Well, he filmed what he claims are 2 military-grade helicopters transporting something enormous, dark, and hairy through the backcountry. Although the footage is shaky as Edward was driving while recording, even after zooming in, you can see something large being carried between the 2 helicopters. I mean, that's weird enough. Whatever it is, it's big enough to need 2 aircraft to lift it, or one to lift it and one to be a backup, or one to lift it and one to guard it. I don't know. Many people have kind of taken this in the comments and run wild, but they say that this is the military carting off a captured Bigfoot. What adds to the intrigue, again, is that Edward is not someone that's involved in paranormal investigations or Bigfoot research. He's just an ordinary dude, an outdoorsman from Georgia. Now, where it gets really eerie is that since posting this clip, he's gone silent. He hasn't responded to any comments, hasn't posted any other videos. And it's safe to say that many people are seeing this as a red flag, as am I. Could he have been warned or pressured to keep quiet? The sudden halt in his usual posting is certainly suspicious. Take a look at the footage yourself and decide, is this a genuine Bigfoot encounter? Or is there something else at play? A group of men recently shared some unsettling footage they captured during a nighttime expedition in search of a mysterious and elusive creature. Armed with just a flashlight and a camera, big mistake, they ventured through the dark when something truly eerie happened. In the distance, the camera caught a glimpse of a shadowy figure moving strangely. Well, definitely out of the ordinary. One of the men, very freaked out, shouted a warning to his friends. Well, this apparently provoked whatever they had encountered. Within moments, the figure charges at them, knocks the camera to the ground. You can hear the chaotic scramble as the camera briefly records the creature getting away. Although the men weren't seriously hurt and managed to get home safely, this footage is nothing short of disturbing. The creature's movements and sudden aggression make it hard to dismiss the incident as a simple prank or hoax. However, the fact that the group was able to get so close and escape unharmed leaves plenty of room for skepticism and speculation. So, what do you guys think about this? I gotta say, this is pretty good footage. Man, I just don't know. Look at that. That jaguar spotted in perfect lighting on this beach chasing down a capybara. If it weren't for the capybara taking that left, dipping underwater, we would have witnessed one of the coolest hunts of all time. It still was pretty cool. The thing sprinted over 50 yards. Just an incredible video of this jaguar. This next clip is eerie. A woman recently shared a spine-tingling experience she had one evening while just standing on her back deck. An encounter so unnerving that she admits she might not have believed it if it weren't for the security footage that recorded her reaction. The video shows her casually scrolling through her phone while her dog happily chases after a ball in the backyard. Everything seems perfectly ordinary. Until it isn't. Without warning, she abruptly spins around, visibly alarmed, and lets out a scream. According to her, she felt a distinct tap on her shoulder, followed by a voice that sent chills down her spine. What makes this even stranger is that the footage shows no sign of anyone or anything near her at the time of this incident. Yet, her genuine reaction seems very hard to dismiss. Could this be a case of something paranormal? Or is there a more rational explanation for what happened that night? The mystery leaves much to the imagination, sparking a range of opinions online. But what do you, the viewer, think really happened out there? In early October, a mother snapped this photo while hiking with her son in the Cougar Mountains of Washington, capturing a moment that seemed ordinary at first, but turned out to be anything but. The boy, captivated by the glowing northern lights, stretched his arms towards the sky, explaining to his mom that he was trying to, quote, touch his angel. Of course, Mom, touched by the purity of the moment, took the picture without thinking much of it. However, when she later reviewed the image, she was startled by what appeared to be a mysterious hand reaching down from the sky, which would be strange enough, but this one eerily mirrored her son's own gesture. So what do we think? Could the boy have truly seen an angel as he said he did, making this just an innocent spiritual encounter? Some have said that there could be something more sinister at play. But for me, and I'm sure many of you, I wonder if the mom is being entirely truthful about the manipulation of this clip. Nevertheless, the mystery lingers, and as always, I am interested in your input. One day, while out fishing at a secluded lake near the Navajo Mountains, a man claims to have captured something extraordinary on film. In the distance, he spotted a large, hairy figure with a distinctly domed head and very broad shoulders. The man is adamant that this wasn't any ordinary animal, and he wants it highlighted that this is not a bear, He truly believes this is a Bigfoot, moving unmistakably through the rugged terrain, and given this creature's size and the way it moved, again, he's convinced of what he saw. After all, this region isn't home to any primates, so what else could it have been? No gorilla, no bear. The footage has since stirred up debate online, with some firmly believing the sighting is genuine, while others remain skeptical. Is this truly evidence of the elusive Bigfoot, or could there be another explanation? I would say the internet is divided. Some are saying that this is totally real, and others are saying the opposite. Mermaids have always been the stuff of legend, but this clip captured by a hidden camper tells a different story. Filmed behind the rocks of a secluded lagoon, the video shows clear, vibrant waters where something extraordinary emerges. What appears to be a mermaid. As the camera zooms in, the figure becomes visible, her flowing blonde hair shimmering beneath the surface. She moves gracefully, her silvery tail flicking effortlessly in the water. For a brief moment, until I got my bearings, I thought I was looking at the face of an alien. Nevertheless, what do we think about this clip? Is this something we should dive deeper into, or just chalk it up as another well-planned hoax? A UFO was spotted hovering over a Mexican city in broad daylight, with thousands of onlookers witnessing the bizarre event. The object remained completely stationary beneath a cluster of white clouds, leaving many scratching their heads as it defied any logical explanation. Numerous people captured this incident on video, showing the UFO holding its position for several minutes without any visible signs of propulsion or sound, no engines. But what truly intensified the mystery was the sudden appearance of a second object, which quickly moved behind the main UFO, a detail that sharp-eyed viewers caught in the footage. This second object's swift motion added another layer of intrigue, and despite the growing speculation, there has been no official word on what these objects were or where they came from. I mean, they're clearly there. This sighting has left many questioning the possibility of increased UFO activity in that specific area, and reignited debates about UFOs, aerial phenomena on a large global scale. So I feel like this is even silly to ask, but what do we think? Is this a genuine UFO encounter? I think so, but I'm getting a little hyped up, so share your thoughts and theories on what might be going on in the comments. Check these guys out. Velvet worms, or onychophorans, are fascinating invertebrates known for their unique hunting technique. These creatures have soft, segmented bodies covered in velvety skin, which gives them their name. To hunt, velvet worms use a specialized pair of slime glands located on either side of their head. When they encounter prey, such as insects or small arthropods, they shoot a sticky, glue-like substance that quickly immobilizes the victim. Once the prey is trapped, the velvet worm approaches and injects digestive saliva, breaking down the prey's tissues, allowing the worm to consume it easily. This ambush and glue strategy makes them effective and unusual predators in their environment. Sounds like a pretty sticky situation. Dad joke, I'll see myself out. In this next clip, a man was recording the night sky in an undisclosed location when something pretty nutty happened. Out of nowhere, a figure resembling a person in a white robe with what appeared to be wings suddenly materialized above some electrical lines. Now, if that wasn't strange enough, the power lines began to emit sparks, quickly followed by an unmistakable zapping noise in the moment the figure appeared. The bizarre scene lasted only a few seconds before the figure vanished, just as mysteriously as it had come, and at that very instant, the zapping stopped entirely. Now, I don't need to tell you guys that such a sequence of events is far from natural, and everyone who saw the footage agreed that something unusual had taken place. But what exactly was it? Do we think this man captured something beyond our understanding? Was this just an energy glitch, easily explainable by the energy company? I will say this, the paranormal community is still debating whether this was an otherworldly encounter, an unexplainable phenomenon, and they're leaving the mystery open to speculation. As for me, I'm just gonna say it, I think it's a fake. I think someone did whatever they had to do to edit that video and put that figure on top of it. The end.